Okay, so today I want to share a little bit about the way I feel about what the world is going through at the moment, and how maybe this is an opportunity for us to rise up, and how we can do this, how we can be the alchemists that transforms lead into gold, darkness into light. Hi, I'm Esther, quantum healing hypnosis practitioner, and my mission is to help people take their power back and become the beautiful creators of our own reality. I understand that at the moment we're going through collective panic. This fear is taken over. We're fearful of our neighbors, of the person next to us, because this virus could be anywhere, it could be in anybody. And it feels like we're fighting an invisible war. It feels like we don't really know where the enemy is, but at the same time the enemy is everywhere. And as I was going through the airport yesterday in Miami, over the radio they were saying how fear is the real danger, how fear is really the one that is to watch out for, because not everybody will get the virus and many people will recover, will heal from this virus. But what the real problem is that we've entered this general state of fear, and how this can really divide society, how it can weaken us, and how it's the real danger out of it all. So the idea here is to really think about how can we stop this fear from taking over, and how can we transform this darkness into light, and how can we use this time to our advantage, to the advantage of the collective even. In this state of collective fear, what it's really doing to us is that it will trigger us, each and every one of us, at some point, in some kind of way that will be unique to the way we are. So don't be scared to feel this panic at some point, because it's quite normal and it's quite human, and it means you have feelings, and it means that you care for people, basically. So in a way, this panic is helping us understand human nature, and it's helping us understand what really matters in our life, because now that we're all forced to take a break, to stop working, now we're all forced into isolation, and the way we deal with that is the way we'll come out victorious. So how can we use this time to our advantage, and how can we bring love and light back into this situation? And if we can do this, then for humanity it's a huge step forward. It's a huge step in the evolution of consciousness. And so I feel like this virus, in a way, we created it as a society, because when the body gets ill, it's because there is an imbalance within the body. And so if you look at society like a body, then we understand that economically there has been enormous imbalances, and somehow this had to come to an end, and before it came to an end it had to get worse, so we could really see it. It had to come up to the surface to be exposed. And so this is exactly what is happening right now, is that these imbalances in the economic system are being exposed, and that now we're forced to stop our jobs, stop our life, stop the way we would act, stop our routine. This is a chance for us to re-examine what is going on in our life, and to see what works, what doesn't work. This is a chance to reevaluate our priorities in a way. As we're all in the same situation all across the world, it's like we're doing this shadow work on a collective level. We're doing it all together at the same time. And even though we will have different shadows, this will bring up different discomforts in our lives, different things that we don't like about ourselves, but it will trigger each and every one of us to look at it and to transform it into light, into something that is useful to us. So it's really a call to look at how, as a race, how humanity can rise up, how we can change the way we live into a more conscious and heart-based type of living, into a way that is more equal, that is more fair to everyone. It's in darkness that we can shine our light the brightest. This is our chance to find the light within and shine it to the world, share it with the world. This is our chance to change our lives for the better, but also change the human race for the better. So we can go to the next level of consciousness, so we can bring a new world, a new order into our society. And shadow work, of course, in whichever way we do it, is always going to be a little bit painful at some point, or very painful at some point, until it reaches this moment where we realize this is not the way we can go on anymore, that things have to change. So if we can use this time to really start looking after ourselves, or start bringing more love into our life, more nurturing. And to come back to the example of the alchemist transforming lead into gold, for me, this situation, this global situation, is a call to every one of us to become the alchemist and to transform our shadows into light, to transform our fear into love. Because the more we give to panic, the more panic we'll bring in our life. And so if we can find more love in ourselves, we'll find more love outside of ourselves. So in a way, I know it's a little bit controversial to say this, but in a way this virus is really putting a light on what is wrong in society, and this is really a chance for humanity to step up, to become what we are really meant to be, to look after each other and to look after ourselves. So in this invisible war of fear, maybe there is actually something that we will gain that will be invaluable. And the quicker we can do this, the better. And the quicker we can do this, the quicker we can ascend as a race. And so I really invite you to use this time in a way that is really beneficial for you. Do some exercise, learn a new skill, learn a new language, get creative with cooking, share your ideas online, start gardening, start being in nature more, reconnect to nature, just hugging a tree or just sitting in the woods. Even if you're on your own, you feel the presence of nature and you realize that you're not actually on your own, and that this fear is just something that is actually very superficial, and that it's not a description of who we truly are, and that there is much more to ourselves than just feeling fear or being a slave to the economic system or having to work a job that we don't like. This is maybe a chance to reevaluate and see how we can spend our time in a way that is more beneficial for us and for society. If we can start to see where we have put things in our lives that were not necessary. Now we're stripped down to the strict minimum. And to see how we interact with people, now that we don't have the chance to interact with people so much because we're all in isolation. So this gives us a chance to really look at the way we see relationships, and also what we want to bring into society and how we want to do this. So you see people like doing group meditations, or saw a birthday party on Zoom the other day. So people are still wanting to connect and still connecting, but they have to be creative about the way they connect. And being creative in life is the way that we evolve, is the way that we go further than what we know. And right now, we're really being pushed to be creative and to find other ways to connect, other ways to participate, and other ways to bring to society, other ways to share our light, other ways to share our love, our kindness. And maybe this is a time where we can be less selfish, where we can be kinder to ourselves and to our neighbors, more understanding, where we can have more empathy. As we become more creative about the way we live, we can only learn and we can only make our life richer. So maybe this virus came about to show us that we can do things differently, to show us that the priorities that we had are not the priorities that we should have in the future. It's also showing us that when humanity stops living in this stupid way of like trying to make always more money, trying to always get more, that when we stop doing that, nature recovers. Nature, at the moment, like the canals in Venice have got clear water, for example, for the first time in probably history. And we realized that actually in a very short amount of time, the earth recovers. And so as we're taking a break, so is nature. And this is very much needed. In a way, this is a chance for us to come back to our true nature. And what is our true nature is to be creators, to create, to invent, to imagine, to find solutions. Through creativity and imagination, we find solutions, we find other ways of dealing with life, of enjoying life, of experiencing life. Through creativity, we get to regain our power, because creativity gives us back the authority. It gives us back the fact that we are the creators of our own life. And so are we going to choose to live in fear, or are we going to choose to live in love? The only answer to fear, the only way to heal fear, is to give it more love. The only way to heal uncertainty is to be adaptable. And creativity allows us to be adaptable and being able to face any kind of situation. So I guess my message here is to really take this time to evaluate what you really want from life and what you really want to bring to the world, and to be creative about the way you want to do that. Enjoy this time, enjoy the experience and this extra time that we all have at the moment to do the things that we've never had a chance to do but always wanted to do. Maybe it's that book that we wanted to read, or maybe it's repainting this piece of furniture, or maybe it's doing something in the garden, or maybe it's just going for a run, or just simple things, because it doesn't have to be complicated. But what's important is that we come back to a simpler life, to a way that is actually more adapted to the human nature and to the way we should have always aspired to live. And I'm sure that when the panic is over, and that when we can come back to a more normal situation, we would have all grown and we would have all changed. And in a way, this is really, really beautiful. So I invite you to really see the light in this situation and to really let yourself shine in the best way possible. Don't let fear stop you, because that would just be a waste of time. But use this time to your best advantage. And that's how we take our power back. And this is how we become the real creators of our own reality. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know in the comments how you find ways to spend this time and to improve yourself, to love yourself, to share your kindness and your generosity with others, even without seeing them. There's plenty of ways that we can find to connect with the ones we love. Don't forget to subscribe also, so you can be notified when I bring out a new video. Until next time, stay in love and share the light.